But unfortunately, as soon as I walked out of the garage, a bird pooped on it. Alright, let's look at this piece of crap. So, this Xenon right here. If you haven't seen the last video, it is quite long, but I promise every Xbox we touch in that video has a very pleasant surprise, or unpleasant. One of those surprises at the end of the video, I don't know why, I decided to plug this thing into the ATX power supply that we had sort of made so that we could test things out, since both of our 200 watt power supplies seem to be having some issues. Now, this one we got a long time ago, I think in some sort of bundle deal, and it was just absolute trash. This is not the shell that was on it. The whole outside was pretty screwed up. It had clearly been roughly taken apart numerous times, had all kinds of weird modifications, random plates, there was a large plate on the back of the motherboard, like reinforcing where the heat sinks are, all kinds of stuff. It was clear they were trying to jimmy rig this thing to work. And of course, it had red ring of death. I don't remember the exact code. Now, we still tried to kind of tinker with it a little bit to see if we could get it to work, and it was not happening. So I basically threw it back together with all the worst parts, the most damaged looking heat sinks, a fan that didn't work at all, just to put it together, and I decided, let's do a durability test. I had originally planned to run it over with a car because mainly we wanted to compare it to a very damaged Halo 3 Xbox that USPS, absolutely destroyed, and I'm just curious how much damage these can take before they have literally the corner chunk broken off, which is what happened on the Halo one. Now, before running it over, I actually did start a little bit of a durability test. We did a video where I just literally jumped on it, jumped up as high as I could. Well, I could jump way higher. I jumped up decently high and just kept slamming on the top of this, I think like 3 or 4 times at least. You could really hear the plastic just crying for help. However, after that, I randomly plugged it in and it booted up. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So then we went back, put some actual X clamps, better heat sinks on there, an actual working fan, whatnot, put it back together, and it did absolutely nothing. Press this button, no light, nothing. So we went from running it over to studied further because it started to work, then crossed that out, and then I was mad that I spent time on it again, and we just decided we are going to in fact smash it. Now, as I mentioned with the ATX power supply, since I had it set up, I'm like, why not plug in all the other 200 watt systems I have, just for the heck of it. And we did that with this one, and it booted up. Anyway, so I guess the fact that it did boot up, we have to, we gotta look at it a little further. So, before we even start, we're gonna try to see if it does the same thing. Alright, here we go. Honestly, no matter what this does, I feel like I'm gonna be pissed off. At our ATX power supply, got it plugged in here on HD, TV right here, and I just threw this fan here since there's a gaping hole there. Might as well give it some airflow, give it a chance to do something. Oh, let's turn on our power supply. Okay, so that's... what the heck? Obviously, I guess a heatsink got loose. I don't know how it worked before. I knew I should have filmed this as a short. Okay, well, we're here, so let me tighten down the heat sinks. Here we go, I don't care. Alrighty. This thing seriously worked after jumping on it. Dashboard 17349. Sorry, this TV's pretty bad. There you go. I mean, I'm just gonna leave it like this, and we'll give it 10-15 minutes. If it's still good, I don't know what to do with it. Oh, here we go. It's happening. I was just about to say, I guess we'll put a DVD player in there. And just play a movie through it, see if it makes it. I'm willing to give this one a chance. A little update, just for the heck of it, I literally held this on full blast right here in front of it. And again, just let it sit at the dashboard. I had to occasionally turn this off so I could hear these fans. And it never went up. And I had it on longer than we just had it on before. So this is why I stand by cooling mods on these things. Yes, I understand that the main issue with Red Ring is not necessarily heat related. It's the problem with the chips, the solder, the lead solder, and also just the crappy Taiwan GPUs they use for a little bit. But the reason that issue isn't going to arise until it reaches a certain temperature, aka heat related, that's when things are starting to expand. That's where, maybe the bad solder, once it gets to where it's expanding, or there's like a crack in it, and that crack is then expanded. Now you've got stuff that's not working right, and it's going to start throwing codes. All right, let's see how many of these fans we can shove in there. So we just added these two fans here and those two fans here. So yeah, this is what we got going on. 2 CPU heat sinks. I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I plugged in to test the fans, and it was flashing 4 red lights saying it wasn't plugged in back here, which is good. It didn't go to 3. Oh yeah, I also have DVD cable coming out the side here and extender on this one. That way we can just put the DVD drive right here, and I can just swap them out without taking this whole thing apart. Okay, here we go. Oh, dang it. It's hitting something. Okay, just hitting that one wire. Now, if this does work, this could basically be my DVD drive testing station. So, and also, okay, no, I'm delaying. We all know the perfect end result here. Oh, I guess this one is on. Cool. Oh, crap. I didn't put the eject button in. Literally grabbed a controller to sync it to it, turned it back on, fans immediately ramp up. Oh boy. So this is interesting. These fans stopped spinning, and it literally won't shut off now. Oh, why did I dive into this rabbit hole? There is a reason we're gonna run this one over. What's going on, guys? We're going to start off today talking about the Zephyr from the last video. We got the Elpis, the Modern Warfare 2 system, and this Zephyr that was Red Ring of Death. We were able to fix it. Seems to be working good ever since. Now, I did put a different disk drive in here, and obviously we got this side panel just to give it some good airflow while testing. The BenQ was still having a little trouble, so while I was taking a look at that one, I put this one in here that I know works, just so we can play movies on it, and we have actually used the past couple days playing movies, and it has had 0 issues. So we got to figure out what we're going to do with this one. And first of all, we need to take the BenQ drive, make sure that gets working so we can actually game on it for a little bit and test that out. Because playing a movie is obviously not going to really fully test it out. As long as it continues to work and have no issues, even while gaming and everything, we got to figure out what to really do with it. Now, I'm still leaning towards same thing as like the finicky Falcon deal. I would still kind of list it as parts, but you know, it's obviously working. Okay, we now have a different Red Ring of Death board here that we can use to test these out. I've got a few other BenQs. I'm going to open this up. I know it was opening and closing good. We put the hair tie in there. Place the belt. And this one was, you could hear it trying and it just kept like, joo, 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 joo. Now it's spinning up just fine. Okay. Still test out the other ones real quick. These things are just playing games today. Oh, there's a disc in there already. That one also sounds good. Now this one should also be a BenQ, but I'm pretty sure the little parts of the circuit board that go around the screws, that's how you tell the BenQ and light on. I think those are just broken off on this one, so these are all just going to be fine until I put them in the next box. Okay, that one's doing it. No. Yeah, there you go. You can hear it start to spin, and then you hear a little, like, noise. That's what the other one was doing, but yeah, there you go. Alright, I guess we'll just put this one back in. Alright, don't be mean. Right. Low firmware. What do we do here, guys? Well, it works, which is good. I'm obviously not going to update it. We'll leave it on this dash for now, and I don't know. What do you guys think? What should we do with this one? So, why don't we do something a little more exciting to end this video? We've got this guy here. We know we put it in a Red Ring of Death board just to have this all assembled, see what it looked like, see if we wanted to change anything. So, we got the actual board back, and let me explain real quick. I did get this board itself that came in the 420 shell with all the leaves on it. This is a Launch 360, that's Jtag on blades, and we already have the hard drive here, but even on the blades menu you can still play anything you want. And basically, when I first got it and opened it up, I noticed, I can't remember if it was one or two of the caps, had started to bubble just a tiny bit. And I was concerned because it did say caps were replaced on this one, but we then found out they only replaced the bad caps, so there was still a few that were the original capacitors. Of course, we sent it back, still under warranty. I went ahead, changed them all out to make sure every cap is new on this one. And apart from that, it has been working fantastic, even with the cap issue. Everything's been working great. It's obviously been Jtag. This will be a pretty easy swap. Literally take everything out, DVD drive, fan tunnel, and just slap it onto this one. This one already has heat sinks on it. I believe we've got both copper on there. Alright, we got our Jtag board broke down as far as we need it to be, other than the Ring of Light board, which I just realized I never ordered the one I wanted to use on this one. I mean, I just did now, but I do have one that I believe is white and then blue. It should be here today or tomorrow, probably Monday. But I really imagined having the red with blue ring, and I just ordered one of those. So, yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, I guess we'll have to leave the OEM one in here for now. Did get our all-white controller buttons, so we can get that all set up and see what that looks like. Alright, sort of have the contenders for the replacement on this sticker. Uploaded a short on this that should, well, it's already up now, so it'll be up before this video. So hopefully I get a few responses on that. But anyway, let's go ahead and take the shell off of this guy. Usually these stress me out, these clear face plates, but this one is not XCM, and I haven't had any issues with it. Top is off, bottom piece off, and before this gets put back on, I do have to finish trimming this here. Although it seemed to work during test fit, once it was fully put together, it seemed to be just slightly in need of a little bit more on one of the sides, which I had anticipated, which is why I didn't actually finish smoothing out those sides there. But the good news is that this shell will now be capable of any board you put in it. Furthermore, this was clear coated over when it was on the Wavy Tube Man build, but we have added quite a few more stickers since then, so we'll probably also re-clear coat this backside, which is fine since we're apparently going to have to wait at least a few days on that last ring of light board for this to be completely done anyway, so we might as well get a nice new clear coat on it, give it some time to fully cure. A couple tiny things besides the sticker on this top shell here. You can see there's no bolt on this one side here, and that is because it's right where that sort of lip is on our fan shroud. Let's see if we can get there. And there's just enough excess on these bolts that it's touching that fan shroud, and I don't want that to get scratched up. So all we're going to do is put an extra washer on the top side, maybe one of the rubber ones, or just a black one to match. On all of them, that way they all look the same, and that's going to raise that up just enough so that we can put that one in there as well. And lastly, I didn't even notice this until I saw footage of it, because I couldn't really tell in person unless you know it's there. I don't know how I got the slightest bit of purple on the faceplate here, but yeah, I didn't notice until, like I said, on video, and it's pretty obvious, so we'll have to touch that up with just a little bit of white paint. Here is the top here. Let's get the DVD drive out. Fan tunnel, fan, and our DVD drive cable with our 3-pin connector on it is like the newest, cleanest looking one possible. So we cut out sections around the fans. And if your Xbox is apart and you have a Dremel in a few minutes, I recommend cutting part of this out. One, it'll be slightly less restrictive, so if, you know, maximum airflow is your goal, it's a good idea. But mainly, this is like the #1 spot where the dust is going to start collecting. Even if the rest of your system's pretty clean, you'd get to the fan tunnel, take that off. That's usually got dust, the fan's got dust, and it collects, you know, around here. But our main goal here was just so that you could fully see the Talus Moon fans. And I think it would be insane of me not to fully take advantage of having a clear fan shroud. Now, if you spin them slowly, you can hear like a little rattle, but obviously at full speed, centrifugal force will take over, and they're just gonna basically look like the eyeball fan. Well, this is the eyeball. Well, this is the eyeballs fan, I guess. All right, let's just put it together. All right, we got the rubber washers on the other side of the fan so that there's more clearance on these. I added a couple more LEDs on each side, so there's now 3 blue ones, the flashing blue ones. Now the front, we also, basically I just took some spray paint, sprayed a piece of cardboard until it created a little puddle, took a little tiny paintbrush, and just went over that little bit of purple. Got our 4 case screws in. There's obviously none in the middle now because of this little fan we put here. Our eject button in place. Now this is as far as we're going to go with this piece for now, because I need to deal with that back shell, cleaning up the where the AV port goes in. And I'm probably going to wait till the morning because it sounds like it's about to storm out there and I've got a headache. But we at least have it to where we can plug it in, test it out. I can still put this on here. We can kind of see what that looks like. But like I said, we'll wait on the vents and back half until we at least get the correct RF board and I finish that side panel. Can real quick get our controller put together. So I've shown this before, the front faceplate. Got all kinds of color shift and splatter and metallic flake in there. So we've already got the white D-pad in there with the clear blue back, not that that makes much of a difference. And then we've just got a white button set for the function buttons, bumpers, triggers, analog sticks. I do happen to have a clear blue one. We might throw one of those on. This set doesn't come with start and select, but we have some clear ones and boring white guide button. Just kidding. We've got a custom button. Yeah. And then we've got, well, this button and the blue ring from the Halo controller. It would have been nice to have the clear battery pack, but I put that on the Blue Dream build, and I think it does look better on that one. So I do happen to have one. I have a whole bunch of the black battery shells, but this is the only white one I have, and it is pretty dirty. Obviously, we're going to fully clean it up and probably just repaint it white with the matte, maybe add a little bit of the splatter on there, just so we have some matching thing, and then of course the clear blue back shell. We're going to be using this excellent condition controller here. I mean, look at that. No scratches at all. A little bit of dust around the edges there, but yeah. Out of the parts we had to work with, this is what I felt was the best combination here. I did clean up the battery pack. As I said, we'll probably just paint that so it looks nice. Maybe even put some of one of the decals on the back. A little center button. Sweet. I like it a lot. We've got this all plugged in. We have our HDMI converter, which I don't recommend. Just get a cheap older TV from anywhere. Decided on the sticker yet. We just have a little piece of tape there so we can get an idea while it's spinning. Although I have to say, even though this one looks the best when it's stationary, I think when it's spinning fast enough, and of course the camera won't pick it up, but in person it pretty much just becomes a blur. Now this other one here, I actually like, I think, even more. See, as it spins, it still, you know, looks like an eyeball. Now that one is quite a bit different than the one that's on here, which is definitely hard to beat. As I mentioned, we have to remove this one because it's just peeling off after removing it a couple times. But this one, you know, it's hard to beat. I don't know. Now I'm stuck between this one, and we're just going to leave this on here for now. Do have more power supplies on the way, hopefully some solid ones. This will obviously come with a good working original 200 watt power supply. And oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to show the blades there. There is your eyeball. There's all the flashing lights. That looks really cool with that eyeball right there. Let's connect our controller. There we go. All good here. Let's open this up. Take this out. You guys, it's the Blaze dashboard, Grand Theft Auto 5. And so yeah, like I said, we've got a blue and white ring of light, although green looks pretty cool too, but I just think I'd still rather it be the red in the middle with the blue on the outside, or should we go with the blue and white one? Let me know. Next time you see this, we'll have that other half of the shell finished up, and we'll get this finished all the way together, we'll get this thing the rest of the way together, and actually do a full test. Anyway, that is it for now. Stay tuned for a couple more pretty interesting eBay finds that should be here within a couple days. And please don't forget to not like, comment, subscribe.